While Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo prepare for what might be their final World Cup dance, 8 countries have already been told the party's over. That's the reality for millions of football fans across 8 countries who have just learned their national teams won't be heading to the 2026 World Cup. Some of these eliminations are so shocking, they'll rewrite football history books. Former world beaters reduced to spectators, powerhouses crumbling, and dreams dying in the most unexpected ways possible. The beautiful game has a cruel side, and nowhere is this more evident than in World Cup qualifying campaigns. While some nations are already popping champagne and booking their flights to North America, others are left nursing wounds that won't heal for another 4 years. The 2026 FIFA World Cup promises to be spectacular, hosted across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. But for several countries, that promise has already turned into a bitter reality check. The September international window delivered drama, heartbreak, and mathematical certainty in equal measure. As qualification campaigns reach their final stages across different confederations, the picture is becoming clearer about who will grace the grand stage and who will be watching from home. Today, we're diving into the stories of nations whose World Cup dreams have been officially crushed, examining how former powerhouses and perennial hopefuls found themselves on the outside looking in. Let's begin our journey through disappointment in South America, where the CONMEBOL qualifying format shows no mercy to underperformers. La Roja of Chile presents perhaps the most shocking tale of decline in recent football history. Once the undisputed kings of South American football, having claimed back-to-back Copa America titles in 2015 and 2016, Chile now finds itself in footballing exile for the 3rd consecutive World Cup cycle. Their qualifying campaign reads like a cautionary tale about the fragility of success in international football. With a dismal record of just 2 victories from 17 matches, Chile finished last in the South American qualification table. The nation that once boasted legends like Alexis Sanchez orchestrating attacks, Claudio Bravo commanding the penalty area, and Arturo Vidal dominating midfields couldn't even secure a playoff berth. It's a stunning fall from grace that highlights how quickly fortunes can change in the unforgiving world of international football. The Chilean collapse isn't an isolated incident in South America. Peru, another nation with proud footballing traditions, joins their regional neighbors in elimination limbo. The Blanquirroja managed to accumulate only 12 points across 17 qualification matches, a tally that mathematically eliminated them before the final whistle of the campaign. Their last World Cup appearance came during the 2018 tournament in Russia, meaning they'll now endure consecutive tournament absences, a painful reality for a nation that once competed on football's biggest stage. Moving from South America to Europe, we encounter a different kind of elimination story. Russia's absence from the 2026 World Cup wasn't determined by poor performances on the pitch, but by geopolitical circumstances beyond football's control. Following their invasion of Ukraine in 2022, FIFA imposed a comprehensive ban on Russian participation in all international competitions. This means the 2018 World Cup hosts haven't even had the opportunity to compete for qualification, missing their 2nd consecutive tournament due to the ongoing sanctions. Their last World Cup memory remains their impressive run as hosts 4 years ago when they reached the quarterfinals and captured global attention. The African continent presents its own collection of elimination stories, though none more compelling than Nigeria's potential absence. The Super Eagles, blessed with arguably one of the most talented squads in African football and home to recent African Player of the Year winners, find themselves teetering on the edge of elimination. Their situation perfectly illustrates how talent alone doesn't guarantee World Cup participation. Currently occupying 3rd position in their qualification group with only 2 matches remaining, Nigeria's path to North America appears virtually impossible. Even if they achieve maximum points from their remaining fixtures against Lesotho and Benin Republic, their destiny lies in other teams' hands. South Africa needs just a single point from their final 2 games to secure automatic qualification, leaving Nigeria scrambling for a playoff spot that seems increasingly unlikely given their current point tally. However, Nigerian fans cling to one final thread of hope, though it's thinner than spider silk. Allegations have emerged that South Africa fielded an ineligible player, Teboho Mokoena, during their crucial victory over Lesotho. The player allegedly should have been suspended due to accumulated yellow cards, but appeared in the match nonetheless. If FIFA's investigation results in a 3-point deduction for South Africa, as has happened in similar cases, Nigeria might have a mathematical chance. Yet even this scenario would require additional favorable results, making their qualifications prospects dependent on a series of highly unlikely events. For Nigeria, missing consecutive World Cups would represent their longest absence since establishing themselves as a global football force in 1994. It's a sobering reminder that in African qualifying, where only the group winners advance directly, there's precious little margin for error. Zambia's story carries different emotional weight, as the Chipolopolo have officially confirmed their elimination from 2026 qualification. Despite their magnificent 2012 Africa Cup of Nations triumph, one of the most inspiring underdog stories in continental football history, Zambia has never translated their occasional African success into World Cup qualification. Their wait for a debut appearance on football's grandest stage continues, representing one of African football's great mysteries given their periodic continental achievements. The continent's elimination list extends further, with Kenya and Togo joining the ranks of the mathematically eliminated. Kenya's quest for their inaugural World Cup appearance must wait at least 4 more years after managing only 9 points from 8 qualification matches. Their elimination was confirmed through cold mathematical calculation rather than dramatic final day scenarios. Togo's situation carries historical significance, as their elimination means 2 decades will have passed since their only World Cup appearance in 2006. That German summer marked the peak of Togolese football, with Emmanuel Adebayor leading their attack and the nation briefly capturing global attention. Since then, they have struggled to recapture that magic, and with just 7 points from 8 games, their 2026 elimination became inevitable before the qualification campaign concluded. The Central African Republic of Congo presents a unique elimination story, initially being banned by FIFA for third-party interference in football governance. Though the ban was eventually lifted, allowing them to resume their qualifying campaign, the interruption proved fatal to their World Cup hopes. They've managed just a single point from 6 qualification matches, officially ending their 2026 dreams. Beyond these headline eliminations, numerous other nations have seen their World Cup hopes extinguished. Countries like Mauritius, Eswatini, Liechtenstein, Gibraltar, the Gambia, Eritrea, South Sudan, Zimbabwe, Mauritania, Burundi, and Seychelles have all discovered that the 2026 tournament will proceed without their participation. Meanwhile, traditional football nations including Sweden, Cameroon, and the Republic of Ireland find themselves in precarious positions, still fighting to avoid joining this list of the eliminated. The 2026 World Cup elimination stories remind us why this tournament remains the ultimate prize in international football. For every Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Morocco, and Tunisia were celebrating early qualification, there are countless others whose dreams have been shattered by the brutal mathematics of qualification campaigns. These eliminations represent more than statistical outcomes. They're stories of missed opportunities, generational disappointments, and the relentless nature of international competition. For players who've dedicated their careers to representing their countries, missing a World Cup cycle means potentially losing their only chance to compete on football's biggest stage. As qualification campaigns continue into their final phases, more hearts will be broken and more dreams will be deferred. The path to North America 2026 is littered with the hopes of nations who started their journeys with optimism, but found themselves unable to navigate the complex maze of international football politics, on-field performance, and pure mathematical probability. The beautiful game's cruelest lesson remains constant. Only a select few can dance on football's grandest stage, while many others must wait 4 more years for another chance at glory. Now that we know who won't be there, who do you think will actually win the 2026 World Cup? Will Messi defend Argentina's title? Can France reach a third straight final? Or will a dark horse surprise everyone? Let me know your winner prediction in the comment section below. Support the channel by subscribing and turning on notifications for our next tactical report, and thank you for watching.